So I messed up and I recorded my main camera view and cut my head off. So we're not using it. And we made the decision to just go with a secondary camera, and also I forgot to turn the audio on. So audio is not going to sound great. It's for 5 episodes. We're going to put this intro at every episode. The quality of the message is still good. We had to make the decision to use what we had because we don't have time to re-record. So I apologize for the audio and visual. Just know that after a couple episodes that it'll be back to normal. Appreciate y'all. Enjoy. What's up? Welcome back. If you watch on YouTube and you're on the go, we are on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, so you can pop it on your radio as you're traveling and pretty much get all the same information. There are some things that you might want to see. We're going to go through some jobber stuff pretty soon, but on the go, pop in the earbuds and you can listen to it on there. Today we're talking about, oh my goodness, I totally forgot what I'm talking about. We're talking about customer complaints. And if you've ever had one, you know the level of emotions that can rise up in you when these things happen. And this whole episode is really about protecting from that, protecting your mental sanity and disconnecting that from a customer complaint. What I mean by that, customer calls midday, a wreath that you put up 2 weeks ago is crooked. You just had a windstorm last night, but she's mad that her wreath is crooked. Winds were up to 40 miles an hour and it blew it sideways. These things can happen depending on how you install it. She's mad, it doesn't look good. You know, you're gonna get some customers like this, even though you're willing to fix it quickly. Some people just wanna complain. There's also customers that will tell you the truth, expecting you to make it right without any sort of expectation on their side to want to cause you any strife. Some people would I'm just telling you, some people want to complain. But how do we handle that? The best way that I know how to handle it is to separate, in those moments, separate my emotions completely from the business and look at it from an outside perspective in to see all the angles. So pretend that you're a publicist and you're a publicist for a professional athlete. And this professional athlete does something really stupid, maybe drinks too much, drives home, hits a tree, gets out of his car, calls it Uber, and goes home. But somebody videoed the thing, and now you've got this storm of media that you have to deal with. As the publicist, that person is trying to figure out how to get through the problem without it being a huge deal and make national news, right? You're the publicist for your business. At this point, it is more important for you to figure out a solution that works for everybody than to try to shift blame or try to diminish the problem. If you're dealing with somebody that we're starting here. There's different kinds of customers and levels of expectations. If you're dealing with somebody that just wants to complain, that just wants to have something to be mad about, I must say put that to the side. That customer that called about the wreath, you can say, yes ma'am, we had a big storm come through and we're absolutely willing to fix it. We'll be out there today around this time as our crews make it around to that area, or I'll come fix it myself. As that customer rewinds the circle or keeps going in a circle about what they want to complain about, you just keep going in your circle of, yes ma'am, I understand, totally understand, we'll be out there to fix it. That's a very minute example. We had a customer many years ago. She had a limestone house and she wanted us to put bulbs around her windows. If you've ever done that, I would recommend taking it off of your list of services because that is hot glue. There is no other way to attach those bulbs around that window other than to hot glue to the limestone surface. And as I was meeting with her, I told her, we don't like to do this very often, but understand that when you put glue on a surface like that, when you pull them off, the glue could stick. It can cause discoloration because you have a spot of glue and a bulb covering an area for 3 to 4 months. And then when you pull it off, when you pull it off, the colors can be a little bit different because of sun washing, and it could damage your brick or your limestone a little bit. Even though I said those things, when we took those bulbs off, some pieces of lime, because that limestone's brittle, some pieces of limestone came with it. Now you really couldn't tell, except she could. She wanted us to fix that. Well, we don't know how to fix that, but we figured it out. Even though we felt justified to just write her off, we didn't do that because we were trying to protect the reputation of our company. So we hired somebody, and like a brick mason type person that knew how to fix that stuff and make it look perfect like it was, and paid them, I think, $900 to fix it. Now, what else we did after that was we changed our policies. We are no longer hot gluing bulbs around windows or archways. I think I've done it one time since then. It was for a family member of mine, and I told them, I actually put it in the email, all the things that could happen when you hot glue. But you have to take yourself outside of the situation. Don't let the emotion of your business, because earlier we talked about protecting your reputation like you're holding a baby, you're protecting a baby. There's emotions that are inside you when you're holding a baby, right? When you're building this business, you tend to get emotional about it. And if you have complaints like that, it's easy to go into that emotion and start to shift blame. Well, that's not our fault. I told you, I didn't do that. And I told you that would happen, so we're not covering that, we're not paying for that. And then you get a tick on your reputation. Somebody leaves a bad review. And you don't want that. I still don't know what I think about reviews. I think they're good and bad when it comes to running a business, but it's just something that we have to deal with, right? If you have a Google page, it's there so people can find you and people can leave reviews. It's accountability. And we do tell customers, like, look for a company that you have some accountability with, that they have accountability. They have, you have a way to leave reviews. You have a way that if you get to your wit's end, that you can actually do something about it. And we're gonna keep sharing everything that we know. How you can help us is buy some lighting materials. Again, if you don't wanna buy from us, that's cool. We're gonna keep doing this, but that would help us, and we appreciate it. If you're a customer already, thank you so much. If you're gonna be a customer, thank you so much. We're super grateful for that. Remember that every time you fix something or go out of your way to make something right, even if you don't feel like it's your fault, it's another check mark to say, man, I'm a pro at this. Like, I'm doing everything that I can to make sure that people know that I can do this well. And you're not necessarily fixing a problem per se, you're fixing trust. It's a chink in the armor of the trust between you and a client. We didn't really talk much about the clients that don't complain but may have a complaint. It's easier for us to validate those, because if somebody you've worked for 3 years calls you and says, I've got 7 bulbs hanging down, and you're like, we'll be there. And then you go there and you fix it, that's another check mark for trust. And those are easy. Those are actually the easy ones. Those are just repairs, essentially. I think that's it for this episode. If you have something to add about handling customer complaints, put it down in the comments. I'd love to see what you guys think about how you handle those really tough customer complaints. Remember, love God, love others, and let your light reflect that. We'll catch you on the next one.